Hello and welcome to Bangladesh Today. I am Mugdha Kapoor. Media freedom has come under attack in Pakistan, with the Taliban trying their best to turn the country into another Afghanistan. The recent attacks on media houses certainly point in that direction. In contrast, the media is still very much independent in Bangladesh, despite the pressure from the Islamists who have ideological links to extremists in Pakistan. The media in Bangladesh also has the support of civil society, unlike in Pakistan.
Media is said to be the fourth pillar of a democracy, but the media in Pakistan is under the scanner for giving in to pressure from hardliners. Media houses either resort to self-censorship or if not are attacked for expressing independent opinion. There has been a steady upsurge in attacks on the media houses and journalists, not only in the tribal areas but also in Balochistan and off late in the big cities. A prominent liberal Pakistani paper was forced to considerably restrain its coverage recently after its 3 employees of the media group, which included another newspaper and television channel, were killed in Karachi by armed men belonging to the Tehreek-e-Taliban last month. The paper decided that no criticism of the Taliban or right-wing parties would be published and that reports of bomb blasts would be curtailed. This incident stunned the media community in Pakistan and around the world.
Not just about the media in Pakistan and the pressures that they are now under, and this paper Express Tribune, which had its people killed, and Tehreek-e-Taliban, Pakistani Taliban, has claimed responsibility and used it as a message to the media that that is going to be the way things are going to be if the media continues to criticize Taliban and its activities. Now, it shows several things. It shows the growth of Taliban, the growing hold of Taliban on the affairs in Pakistan. And now it is becoming even more assertive. It's not that the Taliban has not criticized the media in the past, but this kind of an incident of killing and claiming responsibility is to really pressurize the media to accept its diktat. And that's happening because the editor of this paper, which is a liberal paper which started 4 years ago, which is written on a whole host of issues, including, religious freedoms, gay rights, and so on. The editor has said, I cannot risk more lives. Now it's a message to the other papers also, other media organizations. And what is not yet known is how the government is going to react to this. What is the state doing about this when the media is under so much pressure and media is not allowed to do its professional work? Every media organization cannot have, mount security for all its personnel that matches Taliban. So unless the state moves in very firmly, it's going to become very, very tricky. But it also shows, as I said earlier, the growing Talibanization of Pakistan, even though you have a civilian government there headed by Nawaz Sharif, who's a liberal. So these are very disquieting developments, very worrying developments right on our borders.
So it's not surprising that in the list of 180 countries in the World Press Freedom Index 2014 report, Pakistan was placed at 158th position. There was lack of interest in rendering justice in Pakistan, where the government seems powerless against not only the Taliban, jihadis and other armed forces, but also the military apparatus, which international observers describe as a state within the state, said the report. Similarly, in 2011, Reporters Without Borders listed Pakistan as one of the 10 most deadly places to be a journalist. It's not just the Islamist groups but also the Pakistan Army and particularly the country's premier intelligence agency, the Inter-Services Intelligence or ISI, which has muzzled media freedom as well. In many regions, especially in Balochistan and in Pakistani Kashmir, it is very difficult for a journalist to investigate and report fairly and safely.
Media in Pakistan is not a free one. The supporters of Taliban would definitely muzzle the freedom of the press there. But Pakistan president as such should take courage. The democratic forces in Pakistan should also support media. Media should always have freedom. Otherwise there is no democracy, there is no Pakistan. And Pakistan president, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, would ensure that freedom of the press is remained despite Taliban's threat. Taliban writ will not be successful in Pakistan thanks to Mr. Nawaz Sharif.
Even though Pakistan's President Mamnoon Hussain had met and assured a delegation of Press Council of Pakistan recently in Islamabad that the government does recognize the vibrant role of media in formation of a strong state, what the establishment would do in creating a fair environment for the media remains to be seen.
So how does Bangladesh, which broke away from Pakistan in 1971 to become an independent country, keep alive its vibrant media despite threats from rampaging Jamaat-e-Islami and other Islamists? While the media has received support from the government of Sheikh Hasina, Bengali civil society has always guarded free speech in the country. The Secular Society and Liberal Awami League government has ensured that Bangla media has not gone down the path as Pakistani media.
When the Awami League returned to power in January 2009, it brought a sane and conducive atmosphere for the media than under the previous military-backed interim government. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina immediately directed the authorities to free detained journalists. Today, the main problem for the media results from the political tension between members and supporters of the Khaleda Zia-led Bangladesh Nationalist Party on the one hand and those of the ruling Awami League on the other. The BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami cadre have attempted to attack the media and try to cripple its voice, but the media has refused to be cowed down.
You know, there can be a lot of it. Some people feel it's a secular society. Pakistan, its formation itself is on the basis of religion. I think it's also geopolitics. You know, Pakistan, the way where its location, its evolution, the multipolarity of authorities in Pakistan. You have a civilian government, but you have the military, which is still very powerful. You have ISI, which is very powerful, which has a bearing on major decisions. And then now you have the growth of Taliban asserting its influence. In Bangladesh, it's a little different maybe. And the geopolitics does have a bearing on, the society. So those could be reasons why you still have more freedoms in Bangladesh today.
Last year or so has been a testing one for the media in Bangladesh. The 1971 war crime trials and the Shahbag protests proved to be a litmus test for this fourth pillar of a democracy. Seeing the tide turning against them, the Jamaat-e-Islami launched a violent offensive on the streets of Bangladesh, attacking public property, burning buses and threatening media outlets. Last year, in many stray incidents, Jamaat cadre attacked journalists, but strong arm of the administration and upright nature of the media in the country ensured that impartiality was not compromised.
That is also one aspect, but Bangladesh situation is different from Pakistan, and the freedom of the press never been threatened in Bangladesh as it was in Pakistan by Taliban. Therefore, Taliban writ will never prevail in Pakistan or in Bangladesh because Bangladesh has a strong press and freedom of the press is maintained and it is an institutionalized one in Bangladesh.
A reasonably free media environment has resulted in the mushrooming of hundreds of daily and weekly publications in the past few years, continuing to present a range of views. Even broadcast media has expanded in recent years, with more than a dozen satellite and television stations and radio stations now operating.
The Jamaat-e-Islami and its ilk of course wants to make Bangladesh another Pakistan in every which way, be it curtailing individual freedom or restricting media freedom. This is what the government must never forget, that the Bangladeshi media played a courageous and commendable role in upholding democratic values in the country, whether it was during the time of arbitrary military regimes or during the violent Jamaat protests. More on that in the coming episodes. Thank you for watching Bangladesh Today. Bangladesh also has the support of civil society, unlike in Pakistan.
Media is said to be the fourth pillar of a democracy, but the media in Pakistan is under the scanner for giving in to pressure from hardliners. Media houses either resort to self-censorship or if not are attacked for expressing independent opinion. There has been a steady upsurge in attacks on the media houses and journalists, not only in the tribal areas but also in Balochistan and of late in the big cities. A prominent liberal Pakistani paper was forced to considerably restrain its coverage recently after its 3 employees of the media group, which included another newspaper and television channel, were killed in Karachi by armed men belonging to the Tehreek-e-Taliban last month. The paper decided that no criticism of the Taliban or right-wing party,
with the Taliban trying their best to turn the country into another Afghanistan. The recent attacks on media houses certainly point in that direction. In contrast, the media is still very much independent in Bangladesh, despite the pressure from the Islamists who have ideological links to extremists in Pakistan. The media in Hello and welcome to Bangladesh Today. I am Mugdha Kapoor. Media freedom has come under attack in Pakistan